What's up YouTube? It's that ww2 guy back with another video, and just before we get on, I'm just going to say this video has zero political affiliation. This is purely just for history, but today I'm going to be showing my miscellaneous German shelf. This is German stuff that I might not have enough of to make its own display, but it's definitely worthy of being on a display. So without further ado, let's get in. So here we have some photos of a man, which his name is unknown, but he is the same man, and these are his medals right here. This is the Hindenburg Cross with swords, and this is the War Merit Cross. So the Hindenburg Cross was introduced in 1934 to commemorate the veterans and those who served for war effort during the First World War. And there is the German Merit Cross, which I'm sure most of you are all already familiar with if you've clicked on this video. Next, we have a German WHW tinny. Now, the WHW was a German charity during the war, and they would issue, for money, you could donate, and you could get loads of little badges, such as this. It's like a Nordic shield, and on the back you can see the maker. This one's a bit more high quality. A lot of them you can see are not very good quality, but without further ado, let's move on. This one here is a Hitler Youth tinny, which I've showed in my other videos for a German sport competition from 1939. This one is cardboard, but I've showed this in my other videos, so we'll move on. We have, oh crap, a 1935 German Hitler Youth Jugendfest tinny, which is my favourite Hitler Youth tinny that I own. I quite like the design. I quite like the design on it. I couldn't speak if my life depended on it. Next we have this of a broken Hitler Jugend tinny even. As I said, I can't speak, but this one is I got this for free, so yeah, can't complain even though it's broken. We have two RID, or German Labour Service, or Reich Labour Service, whatever you want. Cap badges. This one. On the back you can see the maker. The camera will pick it up. RC. And 1938. It's quite nice. These are also both brought back by a British veteran, and they were found in his attic, so that's quite nice. This one is, I believe this one's Assman. Wait, give me a sec. I'm not sure. I think this is Assman. Let me know if you know. But they are slightly discoloured. Normally this would be more red, around like darker red, but it doesn't matter because they both have a really good story behind them. And I only got them for a tenner, so you know. This here is a Hitler Jugend pass. This specific pass is quite rare. I'm yet to do research on it, but I won't show too much or talk too much about it because it is featured in two other of my videos. So if you want to know more, you've got to check those out. Here we have a nice Luftwaffe stick pin. If it'll focus. Come on, focus. Focus. You know you wanna, please. I think that's about as good as we'll get it. But you can see the back as well. I got that for free actually, so you know, can't complain. We've got a little stamp for the essay. That one's used, obviously you can tell because of the ink stamp on it. A grouping of photos for some man in the Kreigsmarine, which I'll show you now. So in these photos you can see him with the rest of his men in the battalion he was in, regiment. Here you can see them doing a drill in their tropical uniform. It's good to note because their uniform's white. This is really hard to see, but it's with him and who I believe is his daughter on a bench. This one is with him who I believe is his friends. This one in the middle appears to be from the army. But yeah, they're at some sort of waterfall. And the same is for this one. It's a very similar picture, just messing about in that one. This one is the same picture as before, essentially. And this one is them doing a drill. So it's quite nice personal grouping, and I only paid £1 for them, so that's yeah, £1 for all of them. I know, it's amazing price. So let's continue. Okay, next up is this bowl at the back. This is a Kreigsmarine, 1940 dated, so it was used on the ships, and that's slid a little bit, but yeah, it's used on the ships, and it has like scratch marks and that, so you can tell it was eaten out of by sailors, which is really cool. But it's quite an early war one, 1940, which is quite nice. Here we have a magazine for the Jugend, which I have showed before, so I won't go into too much detail. It's in another video. Behind it is a atlas for the KDF, which is quite nice. Behind that is an envelope for a RAD certificate I have up there, but I'm not going to show that right now. If you want a video on that shelf, just put it in the comments. And here we have a book for the Labour Service, which I won't get into. If you want closer up videos on all this sort of stuff, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to make it. But yeah, this one's quite nice. I only paid £5 for that one, so that's a steal. I mean, the paperwork is normally always the cheapest, so if you're just starting, I recommend paperwork and WHW badges, because they're normally always the cheapest. Here we have a theatre programme from Deutsches Theater Lilly. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm not German. It's quite nice. On the inside, it's got like all the details about the shows and etc. I'm not going to show it close up, but if you want to see it close up, just let me know. I got that off Chase Militaria for a pretty good price. I recommend you check out Chase Militaria. It's a really good salesman. Military dealer, even. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Here we have a propaganda book titled Why and What We're Fighting For. Something on the along the lines of that. It's quite nice. It's an anti-British one. There's nothing behind that, surprisingly. But I quite like the design on that. Here we have believe it to be trench art. Nuremberg on the back. 1935 snuff box, and it has the inside. I'm not going to show you that now. Just below it we have another WHW tinny. Quite nice, 1935. Here we have a sports tinny from 1935, which is quite nice. And here we have another tinny from 1934. And you can see the backs are just pressed in on that. That's what I mean by them being a bit more cheaper manufactured, some of them. And here we have a Labour tinny even, that says like something along the lines of "We help" or something like that. I know Heflin is definitely help. Here is a Kriegsmarine medical officer's patch that was ripped off a medical officer's arm by a soldier on D-Day. So that right there is a witness to D-Day, and I'm so grateful to have it in my collection. And it even has bloodstain on it, so that's like a really amazing piece of history. Right, here we have another Kreigsmarine trade patch. This is unissued mint condition with the ink stamp maker at the back. This one is for the engineers. And this one behind it, which also has an ink stamp, but it's a lot more faint, and it's also a mint condition. It's a medical one. It's a bit similar to the other one, but not quite the same. But you can see the difference. This one was used, these two were never used. You can see the shine on them, the difference. We have some more tinnies around here, so I'll just show. This is one of the flag ones for all the different like sort of divisions and regiments that they were doing. This one's got maker's mark. I paid £2.50 for that and a different one, which is the yellow version. So WHW Eagle there. 1939 tinny, that's a really rough shape I got for free. Some of the funny face clay ones for free. For £3 each rather. Labour Day tinny from 1934. This right here is a Luftwaffe pilot's wrist compass. This one on the back it is dated 1939, but I won't get that up because there's too much stuff on it. But it's quite nice. And we've got another tinny there. These are two collar pins from Luftwaffe that were brought back by the same veteran who brought back the RAD cap badges. Behind it we have a tinny from Nuremberg from 1936. a Labor Day shovel tinny, even I actually can't speak, a stick grenade stick pin, a torpedo stick pin, got Iron Cross stick pin, which is quite nice, 2 First World War Ones and a Second World War One. A Luftwaffe pilot's breast eagle, which I quite like. Is that a droop tail? I actually don't know. I'll have to check. I don't think it is. But yeah, it's quite nice. The embroidery. You can tell it's officers because the normal pilots were slightly larger, I believe, and they were also flat. This one isn't. It's got like the bullion, which is quite nice. But yeah, that basically does it for this shelf. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, I have no political affiliation. I just love history, and I really hope you enjoyed. If you stayed this long, you're a certified history buff. Thank you for watching. This was that one World War II guy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.